All right. Good evening. Let me just quickly set up. We will be starting soon. All right. So if you can hear me, just please let me know so that I will know if we're on the same page. If you can hear me, if you can see me, please let me know. All right. Sylvia says we can. Yes, you can hear me loud and clear. Very good. Very good. So we'll proceed immediately. We proceed immediately. Right. So, let me just quickly share my screen. So I can assume everybody can see my screen. Please, if you can see my screen, just let me know quickly because we won't be wasting much time. We'll be going straight into the content of the evening. So can you see my screen? Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen? All right. Excuse me. So we can see our screen. Very good. Good evening, everybody. First, I want to let us know that we won't be beating around the bush in this on this live stream. We're going straight to the point. And today we will be addressing the topic how to lose weight and burn belly fat without dieting or exercise. How to lose weight and burn belly fat without dieting or exercise. I know this is quite controversial because most people associate weight loss and fat burning with dieting, where you have to bend your self, you have to restrict yourself to certain foods and certain ways of eating, or where you have to exercise regularly, those strenuous exercises that you don't like to do. So I'm going to let us know today that it is possible to achieve your weight loss goals and achieve the ideal weight for yourself without strange diets, without strenuous exercise, right? So please, can you quickly let me know where you're watching from? This is going to be largely interactive. So let me know the city you're watching from. For security reasons, don't give the specific location. Just tell me. For example, I'm making this live stream from Jos. So if you can drop in the comment section, where are you watching this live stream from? Chinwe is watching from Abuja. Let's get one more. And then we'll proceed to be sure that we're in the same page. Sylvia Diamond is watching from Germany. Adeola is watching from Lagos. Let's get one more. Gombe, Dokas from Gombe. Bauchi, Tanzania. Okay, great. Let's move on. I can see that we are watching from different parts of the world. Now, please note that if you have questions, I will address questions at the end of this live stream when I'm done with my material. If you want to ask your questions, please put Q and a dash as described, as written on the screen right now. Just Q and dash so that I can easily locate your questions in the stream, in the sea of different comments, right? So do well. Jennifer from Abuja, Fatima from Kanu, you're all welcome. So if you have any questions, I will address them at the end of this live stream, and you can help me to identify your questions easily by using Q and dash, right? So let's move on. you're going to meet me. So this is not me, but this is how happy I am most of the time and how excited. My name is Dr. Malik Haruna King, and I'm a practicing medical doctor. I am an award-winning health YouTuber, and I have a lot of following. I have a sizable amount of following online, and I run one of the best, in fact, the number one health and wellness group on Facebook, the Perfect Health Community. I'm married, I have two lovely kids, and I guess that's all you have to know about me. So let's move on. The first thing I want to address here is the problems. The problems you are experiencing at the moment is that you know that excess body fat is bad for you. Excess body fat is bad for you. Most persons might ask, what's all the big deal about fat and obesity? The truth is that it is an established scientific fact that the larger your body fat, especially in certain parts of your body, the more you are at risk of falling sick, having problems recovering, and even dying earlier than you should be, right? Than you should, right? So excess body fat is like a baggage of all the problems relating to health, your fitness, and your longevity. So just like smoking, excess body fat can lead to you dying young, right? So especially body fat, especially on the tummy side, right? The midsection here and the waistline, right? So especially fat in those areas, in the midsection, fat around your tummy and your waist. Fat in those aspects, in those parts of your body, are associated with high risk of illnesses like diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, stroke, depression, and several other problems. So one of our major problem here is that excess body fat is bad, and unfortunately we have it, especially in this part. So apart from the fact that it doesn't look good sometimes on some persons, what we are most interested in is the negative aspect on our health. The next problem here is that dieting is hard. We love food, right? We love food, especially in this part of the world, Africa here. And so when we get foods that are restrictive, meaning they tell you not to eat the swallow you love, not to eat the rice, the Nigerian jollof rice that you love, not to eat the meat that you love, it's restrictive. You discover that even if you make up your mind to do that, it's not sustainable. And because of that, you fall back. And so dieting is not a good option, especially for some of us in this part of the world. Exercising is really discouraging because you exercise and you see little or no results. In fact, for most people, it gets worse. And this live stream is not about exercising. Maybe on subsequent one, we'll talk about why exercising might eventually be bad for you in your weight loss journey. And some persons are doing all the sit-ups and every other thing so that they will burn fat, but then they discover that it is discouraging, it is not working, and it's not even easy because incorporating exercise into our daily life is difficult. Number one here is that spot reduction is a myth. I know some of you must have heard that you hear some ladies say, "Kai, I want to reduce just this Christian mother arm, but I want to keep my shape and every other thing." Or they say, "No, my problem is just this tummy, right? I want to keep my shape and every other thing." Now, unfortunately, the body doesn't work that way. The body doesn't reduce or burn fat on just specific parts and leave other parts, right? So the body works globally. It works as a whole, right? And that is a major problem here. Keto is not sustainable. Please, if you have heard or you have tried keto before, let me know before. Just type "I have tried keto before," or just say keto, yes, keto, or just let me know. Let me know in the comments, in the live chat, if you have tried keto or you have heard about keto before. Just type yes, type keto, just type anything to let me know that you have heard about keto before and then you have tried keto before. So I am watching, I'm listening, I'm looking out for those who are participating. Yes, someone says yes. At least I have one person here that has tried keto before and has participated in keto before, right? So ketogenic diet is not sustainable. I have tried keto. Oh, waste of money. Yes, the problem is, and that is what I am addressing first. Before we go into the solution, let's get conversant. Let's understand our problem. The problem is keto works, but it's not sustainable, and there are a lot of side effects that comes with it, right? So that is why most people find it very difficult to try ketogenic diets, right? Keto is not KITO, is KETO. Now, also, number three problem here is that quick fixes don't work. So I know some of you must have tried slimming teas before. You must have tried different kind of pills, and they tell you maybe waist trainers and all those stuff, and you discover that quick fixes don't work, right? So what exactly work? Now let me give you a little testimonial here. Someone wrote online, and I quote, "I have been intermittent fasting for 1 year. I skip breakfast each day and I eat 2 meals. The first meal around 1 p.m. in the afternoon, and the second meal around 8 p.m. in the evening. Then I fast for 16 hours overnight until I start eating again the next day at 1 p.m." Right? So the person eats 1 p.m. in the afternoon and then 8 p.m. in the evening, and then fast for 16 hours in the 24 hours. Surprisingly, since I have started intermittent fasting, I am stronger, leaner, meaning that lost weight, right? Lost weight, lost the bad weight, bad fat, right? And healthier and more explosive, right? So that's a testimonial. I don't want to go sharing before and after photos, and I don't want to waste our time to, to prove to you that what I'm going to discuss this evening works. But just take this testimonial as it is. So first, you may be wondering, this person says that number one, he skips breakfast every day and just eats lunch and dinner, and he lost weight and achieve his weight loss goal. So you might be wondering, I thought they say it's unhealthy to skip breakfast. Well, let me just tell you ahead of time, it is not true, right? Breakfast is not the most important meal of the day, and breakfast is not the most important as in you mustn't take breakfast. It is not unhealthy to skip breakfast. And some of you might be wondering, we've heard that you have to eat small meals frequently to boost your metabolism. Well, in this live stream today, you will see why that doesn't really work. And you might have many questions about this, fasting and all those things, and what exactly is intermittent fasting. Don't worry, that is why we are here, right? So, what is intermittent fasting? Today, we'll be looking at intermittent fasting. As you might have known already, what I am proposing here, as opposed to all the other ways of eating and against every form of diet, is intermittent fasting, or what we call medical fasting. And we'll be looking at how it works and how to do intermittent fasting. And please stick with me to the end of this live stream, because at the end I have special gifts for everyone who sticks to the end of this live stream. So do well to stick with me to the end of this live stream, right? So what exactly is intermittent fasting? Follow me carefully. Please turn off every form of distraction and just focus for the next few minutes. You might have heard of this before, but do well to focus. I have nothing, you have nothing to lose if you just give this few minutes to get this understanding properly, and will help us to apply. So first, intermittent fasting is alternating eating pattern, right? It's an alternating eating pattern where you cycle between period of fasting and eating. So it is not just normal, religious fasting where you just fast completely. No, you will be alternating between fasting and eating and fasting and eating. Don't worry, you will understand with time, right? It doesn't specify which foods you should eat or avoid. So the beauty here is that, and in fact, I have clients and students that have been doing intermittent fasting for years. Some persons now, it's part of their life, it's their lifestyle, right? So it doesn't specify which food. So it doesn't say, hey, don't eat this one, don't eat carbs, or eat only low carbs, and don't eat fat, or eat only fat. No, it doesn't specify which foods to eat and which foods to avoid. No, you can eat all the healthy foods that you love and you enjoy. But the only thing intermittent fasting does is that it specifies when you eat those foods you enjoy, right? So it doesn't stop what. It doesn't determine what to eat, but it adjusts when. So you see, this is not a diet per se, because diet in its sense will tell you what to eat and what to avoid. But this is more like altering your eating pattern, what you already eat at the moment, those real local cooked foods you already eat, those healthy foods, you will still eat them, only that will adjust when we eat them, and that is all. So you see, it is not dieting. And as you're going to see, we're not going to mention exercise throughout, and you will be able to achieve your goal at the end. So that is what intermittent fasting is, right? Again, if you have any questions, drop it in the comment section in the live chat, and I'll address it at the end of this session. And I'm moving fast, so follow me carefully. Follow me carefully. And so the beautiful part of this is that you are already doing some form of intermittent fasting, but it is not adequate, right? So we are not bringing in something that is strange or that is, not part of your life already. It's already part of your life. You're already doing some form of intermittent fasting, but it is not structured, right? That is why this way of eating, this eating pattern, will be sustainable if you are diligent, if you are clear with your goals, and if you push to achieve your goals, right? Because most of us already fast when you sleep. So averagely, how many hours do you sleep? Please let me know in the chat section. How many hours do you sleep averagely? Right? You yourself, how many hours do you sleep on average? Let me know. If I just get one comment, I will move on. How many hours do you sleep in a day on average? So, okay, 7 hours. Great. So I've gotten 1, 7, 8, 6. All right. So it means that technically you are fasting for 7 hours. Technically, you're fasting for 8 hours. Because when you sleep, obviously you don't eat, even if you eat in your dreams, right? So, but you are fasting for 8 hours. So that's a form of intermittent fasting, meaning that you fast for 8 hours and then you eat for 16 hours or thereabout, right? To make up the 24 hours. So in intermittent fasting now, we are going to switch this whole thing. You sleep, you fast. Normally, what you are doing now is that you are fasting for 8 hours and you are eating for 16 hours. In intermittent fasting, we are going to switch it. We are going to switch the fasting period and the eating period. So what we are doing now, we are extending the fast you're already doing, right, a little bit longer. So that's what we are doing with intermittent fastings. 7 hours, 8 hours, somebody says 6 to 8 hours. So you see, basically that's what we are doing here. Now, this is how intermittent fasting works. First, fat is to the body like a spare tire is to a car, right? Fat is to the body like a spare tire is to the car. So the truth is, you only use a spare tire when the main tire is bad. So the body stores excess food as fat. Please listen to this very carefully. If you look at your body and you see fat anywhere, it simply means that the body is trying to help you. It's trying to say, Kai, based on evolution and how life came to be and how we came from our ancestors, then we don't have much food to eat, right? So what the body adapted to do is that if you eat and you eat excess, the excess food will be converted to fat and stored in your body, so that when you don't have enough food to eat, like our ancestors, they do a lot of starvation because they don't have a lot of food to eat, right? So the body now takes those excess fat in your body and burn them and to give you energy so that it can sustain you till you can get food to eat. However, we have evolved and we are in a place now where we have plenty of food, but the body is still working based on that former principle. So the body stores excess food as fat. And the more you keep eating, the more it keeps storing, except you stop eating for several hours, for up to 10 to 14 hours. So if you stop eating for 10 to 14 hours or thereabout, the body will start burning the fat it has stored and used as food without you eating, right? I hope this is clear. If this is not clear and you have any questions, please do well to drop it in the chat box and then I will address it at the end of this. So as you eat, your body stores excess food as fat and your body will not stop storing it. You continue storing it as long as you are eating and as long as you are not giving it space, right, to think that you are lacking food and start burning fat. It is very important you understand this principle because this is one principle that will liberate you from all all the wahalas that your body is causing, right? So people accumulate fat because they never stay for long enough without something entering their mouth. So that's a rough way of putting it, right? I know genetics come into play, right? And what genetics does is that for certain people, the genes will make you store fat more and more easily. And your gene will also make you not to burn the fat more easily. That's why you see some persons in a family, they are obese, others, they are just asthenic and thin, right? It's because genetically, even though for both families, the body does the same thing, meaning that storing excess food as fat, but for some persons genetically, they store more food as fat, and then they don't tend to release those fat easily. So that's just the difference. But generally and roughly, people accumulate fat in their body because they never stay long enough. So don't justify gene, don't justify anything. If you stay long enough without food, right, the body will burn that fat. And then when it's time for you to eat, you can still go ahead and enjoy all the foods you are supposed to eat. And then you maintain that balance in your body. If you have any questions, let me know. If you are following, just type following so that I will know that I'm not being too fast and I'm communicating properly, right? So let's move on. Now, you discovered now that with intermittent fasting, you can actually lose fat without changing what you eat. So you can still eat your swallow, you can still take your Nigerian jollof rice, you can still eat anything you want to eat, provided it is healthy, provided it's natural, provided it's cooked, right? And you can achieve your weight loss goal without changing how much you eat now, right? So you can eat as much as possible you can eat to your fill during the eating period. You don't have to change that. And then you can achieve your weight loss goals without exercise. So that is how it is. And don't worry, I will give you the specific. In fact, actually living here, you will know every little thing. The only responsibility that will be on you is to take action. There will be nothing like, I don't understand, right? At the end of this. So there are different methods. There are different methods of intermittent fasting. Different methods. But in this live stream, in this class, we'll be looking at the 16-8 method. And the reason I'm choosing this is because this is the best method for intermittent fasting because it mimics what we already do, just extending it. And again, excuse me. And again, it is sustainable. unlike other forms of intermittent fasting. So I want us to concentrate on the 16-8 method. I'm not going to all the technicalities, but I'm breaking it down in a way you can understand. So basically, if you want to achieve that dream body, and it is possible, except if science is a lie, right? It is possible for everybody. If you put it into practice, you will invariably achieve your weight loss goal. It is not negotiable, because this is the science of how the body works, and then that is how we roll, right? So fasting period is 14 to 16 hours. Fasting period is 14 to 16 hours. 14 for females and 16 for males. Now you can adjust, you can dance around based on what you're comfortable with. Nothing here is written in stone, but excuse me, that is how it is. For the fasting period, it should be 14 to 16 hours. Then we'll have eating period, 8 to 10 hours. So you discover that since we have a lot of hours on fasting period, we're going to use the night time to do those fasting periods so we don't feel it, right? And then we use the daytime when we are awake to do our eating period. I don't know if you understand. So don't worry, I'll get into specific later on, but we are extending our nighttime fasting, so, and then put our fasting period in the nighttime so that you don't feel it, right? And then put our eating period in the peak time of the day. Don't worry, I'll give details. So eating period is 8 to 10 hours, while fasting period is 14 to 16 hours. Please take note of these numbers as we move on. But ideally, it is 16-8 method, meaning that you are fasting for 16 hours and you're eating for 8 hours, depending on how aggressive you want to be and how you want to achieve your goals. So if you have any questions, just put Q and I will answer them. I'm seeing the questions. Don't worry, I will answer every single question. If you're following me, just type following and let's roll, right? So a little brief science here for some of us that want a little science, but I'm going to take very few minutes. I'll rush through this. How does it work? Number one, reduction in caloric intake, right? So generally, if you eat less, you will lose weight. That's why you see people in those days, you see pictures from people in Somalia and all Sudan and all those war countries. You see how they are very slim. It's simple, because they're taking less, right? That's not healthy. Starvation is not healthy, because at a point the body will no longer start losing weight, and you may even start gaining more, right? But with intermittent fasting, it is not an extended fast, and so you hit the balance of burning weight and yet achieving caloric intake. I don't want to waste time too much. Also, it works by adjusting some hormones and neurochemicals and chemicals in our bodies, right? So one thing that intermittent fasting does is that it actually changes hormones. And this is so beautiful, because some persons will say, hey, it's in our family, it runs in our blood, it's in our gene. But gene works through hormones. Gene works through chemicals, through all these proteins, right? And so the beauty of intermittent fasting is that when you start doing all these things through certain process that I don't want to go into now, it adjusts your hormones, adjusts your chemicals, and your body start behaving different from what is typically known in your family. Like, it runs in our family, and then for some ladies, ladies who, after childbirth, after breastfeeding or using family planning and all those stuff, intermittent fasting can help to adjust your hormonal levels, right? There are several benefits for intermittent fasting, even curing some of these major illnesses, but that's not the goal. The goal for this live stream, for this class, is how to use intermittent fasting for losing weight, right? But there are several benefits, right? Even with infertility and several other things. And if you see some of these people, there are many testimonies for people who took in after some of these things, right? So it adjusts the hormones to facilitate weight loss. Apart from that, it lowers insulin. Then, I don't want to go into the science, but what we call insulin resistance and all those stuff. It helps to adjust those stuff. It helps with human and growth hormone. And you see, this growth hormone is important for building muscle. Muscles are healthy, fats are unhealthy. Muscles are healthy. Flesh, what we call flesh, is healthy. fat is unhealthy, right? I'm just saying it, that's just roughly speaking, though. But this growth hormone now helps you to build muscles without building unhealthy fats. And that muscle that you are building will also help with burning of more fats. It's quite technical, but I don't want us to, feel so overwhelmed. Apart from that, it increases the release of fat burning hormone called norepinephrine. And don't worry, we will not go into that. And then there's autophagy. We won't go into that, right? So don't worry, if you have questions, do well to drop it. I'm seeing the questions, but I'll address them at the end of this class. Again, if you have a question, just put Q in front so that it makes it very easy for me to locate. Now, this is how to start intermittent fasting in all practicality. First, divide 24 hours into 2. Divide 24 hours into 2 and choose what works for you. You might start slowly, and then as you get accustomed to it, you can start adjusting the times. Don't worry, you get the details. Now, the whole thing now is not whether it will work. The issue is, do you have that goal? Do you really want to achieve your weight loss goal? So first, divide it into 24 hours. And what I advise for most of my clients is skip breakfast. Yes, you heard me properly. Yes, all those lies that they have been telling you that breakfast is the most important meal. Yeah, it's unhealthy to skip breakfast. All those things are not founded on pure science, right? So there's some propaganda around it, and then some person selling some breakfast stuff. So that's why they brought out that cliche or that slogan that breakfast is the most important meal. It is not the most important meal. In fact, there's no most important meal of the day, right? So what I advise is skip breakfast and start your first meal around 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Follow me very carefully. This can revolutionize everything. If you have big tummy, fat tummy, alcohol tummy, or beer belly, or whatever it's called, and you want to burn it, right? You are not comfortable with your body fat and every other thing in the Christian mother arm or several things, maybe your waistline is simply skip breakfast and develop the habits of taking your meals later in the day. So move your breakfast from 6 or from let's say 7 to 8, if that's, and move it to 8 or 11 a.m. Is that too difficult to do? Is that too difficult? Pot belly, I forgot pot belly. Is that too difficult to do? No, it's not too difficult to do. Shift your breakfast or skip it, right, to 11. Then you can eat from that 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. all through, but stop eating at 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. Is that too difficult to do, for heaven's sake? Except if, number one, village people are on your head, they say this fat must kill you. Do you understand? Then it will be difficult. Except if they say no, now food go kill you. So if you find this too difficult to do, then it's not a problem of this process. It's a problem of character and discipline that you lack, right? So food is your God and you lack self-control. Because all we are saying now is that from 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. all through 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can eat whatever you want, provided it's healthy and in as many times as possible, as large as possible. Is that too difficult to do? Is that too difficult to do? If it's too difficult, lay a hand on yourself and rebuke out the food demon, right? And then break yourself off, the clutches of village people, right? It's not too difficult to do, right? It's not too difficult to do. So it is not something you do. Say, hey, Dr. Malik, want to share something for me that I will do for 2 weeks, achieve my weight loss goal, and then I'll go back. No, this is supposed to be a lifestyle. I know somebody, I know people that have lived their entire life on this, right? Entire life. And the beauty of this is that our ancestors lived this way. That is why they lived long. You see them, they're long, strong. They were having many wives, even at 70, 80, they're still performing, right? The issue is, and you see the women that are strong, they even go to farm even in their 70s and 80s. Why? Because their first meals are usually eaten in the farm. So they wake up in the morning, they don't eat, they just go to farm, and then maybe when they walk till around 10, 11, before the sun reaches the middle of the sky, that's when they take the breakfast, and then they come in and they eat, and then so basically this is similar to what our ancestors were doing, and this works. So let me know in the comment section below, when what will your routine be? 11 a.m. And no, wait, before I even go there, there is something you can still readjust this thing to the way you want. You can make it 12 a.m. and 12 p.m. and then eat your last meal 8 p.m. I don't know if you understand. You can eat your first meal 1 p.m. and eat your last meal 9 p.m. So just make sure that you have 8 hours of eating, and then the rest hours is for fasting. It will be hard at the beginning, but then, as usual, as with everything in life, you get used to it to the point that you find it difficult to eat. Like for me, I find it very difficult to eat breakfast. Very, very difficult. I find it. In fact, my hunger starts around 10, 11 a.m. So, and I guess it's because of the way I've positioned myself. So it gets hard at the beginning, but later on, you discover that it becomes your lifestyle. So let's move on. However, during the fasting period, is not dry fasting per se. You can take water. You can take things that don't have calories or have very, 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 very low calories, right? So you can take water. You can take water. You can take coffee without sugar. You can put a little milk in the coffee, little, not much, so that we don't spoil everything we are doing, right? But it's best if you can take the coffee plain. You can take green tea. There's even Lipton has its own green tea, right? So you can take green tea without sugar, right? If you want to put something, you have to put a little milk, because we now, when you want to put everything, we put spoons, and then you'll be wondering why you're not achieving your goals. So no fruits, even when you're fasting, during the fasting period, no fruits, nothing else, just water, coffee, and green tea. Or if you know anything that has very, very low calories or no calories at all. Some persons take 0 calorie, they chew chewing gum, but I don't know, me, chewing gum makes me hungry, right? So, and then when you are eating, so we have addressed the fasting period. The fasting period, you are not going to take anything. Please don't even try mentioning, say, fruits, vegetable, snacks, healthy snacks, nothing. Just water, coffee, green tea. That's the only 3 things you can take, right? There are some person that put supplements here and there, but then some of these supplements, you have to be sure that it doesn't have calories in them, right? Again, that is for the fasting period, meaning that when you take your last meal at, say, 6 p.m. or 7 p.m., you throughout the night till morning, till 10 a.m. the next day, you are not taking anything except water, coffee, and green tea. During the eating period, meaning that let's say from 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. down to 6 p.m. and 7 p.m., eat clean. Eat less, meaning that try as much as possible to avoid unhealthy things. Those are not foods. There's some things that are not foods. Things like soft drinks, all those unhealthy snacks that are high in sugar, high in salt, high in fats. Avoid them. Eat clean. Eat food, real food, right? Real food. Foods are things that your great grandparents know as food. So if you mention things like and shawarma, they don't know it, right? So just avoid those things they don't know, right? And then eat less. If it doesn't mean, some persons now, hey, this is my 8 hours, I must feel low. So they load the tummy and it's food. Now it's not against the rules, but if you want to achieve your goals faster, eat cleaner and eat less. When you have just full, stop, right? And just wait for the next few hours. If you want to eat again, go ahead. I know some person that just eat twice per day. So usually eat 3 times, but then now we're saying just eat twice. You eat your first meal around 10 or 11 and your last meal around 6, 7. And then you're good to go, right? Consistency is everything. If you have any questions, drop it in the comment section. I'll deal with everything before we move on. And then, apart from that, if you want to write the question, put Q to help me discover it easily and identify the question. So consistency is everything. Please, if you are choosing certain times, stick to those times, right? So if you are choosing that you want to eat your first meal 10 a.m. every day, please stick to it. Don't take 10 a.m. today, then you eat your first meal 12 tomorrow, and then eat 1 8. No, just stay consistent. Have what we call rhythm. It is this rhythm and this ritual that helps you to develop the habit quickly, and also positions the body to give you all those hormones that will help you to achieve your goals easily. So you are helping yourself to develop the habit, helping your body to burn fat. And be patient. So it's not something you do 1 week and then start, even though you start seeing the difference immediately. Typically around 10 to 14 days, you will, in fact, some persons earlier than that, they will start feeling lighter, right? Because it works. It's science, right? So, but be patient. In case due to your own metabolism and due to your genetic factors, you don't get results quickly. Be patient. In fact, it's not even about patience. We're talking about developing it as a lifestyle. So when you only break it once in a while, maybe you are forced, right? Maybe there's a party by 9 a.m. or I don't know what party would be by 9 a.m. or there's something, but let your consistent lifestyle should be intermittent fasting. Right? Apart from weight loss goals, some persons will say, no, but me, I don't have problem with your weight. I tell you that it has more benefits than I can even use 1 hour to describe. So, but we're not going into all of that today, right? So, I'll address your questions easily, and then we will see where we can go from there. Quickly, we're about 50 minutes into this live stream, so let me take a look at your questions. Someone here says, okay, I've tried keto, waste of money. Yeah, the problem with keto is sustainability. What is keto? Keto is a form of eating where you have low carbs, right? Very low carbs and relatively high protein and moderate protein and a high fat diet. There are different formulations, but you could just Google your way around and then you know what ketogenic diet is. Okay, so okay, people are giving their time here, 6 hours, 7 hours of sleep. All right, well understood. Following. Very good. Now, does water affect the point of staying a long time without eating? Does water affect the point of? No, water does not. It's not dry fasting. It's not dry fasting because staying hydrated is healthy. In fact, staying hydrated will help you to lose weight, achieve your weight loss goals, right? So water does not stop the fasting. So if you wake up in the morning, you can drink water. While you are waiting for your first meal around 10 a.m. or 11 a.m., you can drink water. So water doesn't stop it. How can a person who is having hypoglycemia do intermittent fasting? It doesn't stop it. It doesn't stop it. Is well, first, talk with your doctor. Second, you discover that we are not starving ourselves per se. We are not starving ourselves. We are giving the body food the way it is supposed to, handle it. Now, this whole 16:8 is based on the understanding of how the body stores food as fat and how it burns fat. So we are giving the body the adequate amount of time it is supposed to eat. Ideally, scientifically, we can roughly say the body is supposed to eat you are supposed to eat for just 8 hours in a 24-hour period in a day. So all the other things we have, people eating 14 hours, 16 hours, is just inappropriate, right? So what this exactly is how the body is supposed to act, right? So if you're hypoglycemic, talk to your doctor. It can be fixed. What's the reason for the hypoglycemia and every other? It can be fixed. However, this should not even stop it. This should not stop it, right? And again, the body knows how to fix some of these things, especially when you start fasting. So talk to your doctor about it, and it shouldn't affect you. More so, you can start observing yourself. Observe yourself, right? If you start having those symptoms, don't mistaken the symptoms of fasting with that of hypoglycemia, because you feel hungry. And it's normal to feel hungry, right? That sense of hunger you feel is the body burning. The body, it will move the body to burn the fats, right? Most women, their body change is associated with family planning. So my question is, what are the family planning methods that are not associated with weight gain? Now, the family planning method that are associated with weight gain are those hormonal family planning. So things like the pills, the injectables, the implants, and so on, right? So if you are already prone to having weight problem, or you are using any of those family planning methods and you are gaining too much weight, go back to your family planning clinic and have it changed for you, give you an alternative method. A method that we recommend is IUCD, intrauterine, contraceptive device, IUCD, or IUD. It's also called IUD. It's usually better. Also, you can try other methods of contraception, right? Using condoms and calculation of the safe period. For some ladies, the calculation of safe period works very well, combined with condom and stuff or some other stuff. Can someone with ulcer go on intermittent fasting? Ulcer is treatable. But before you treat it, don't start intermittent fasting. Go to your doctor. He will prescribe certain drugs for you, and it will be treated. Ulcer is treatable. So when you treat your ulcer, you go to your intermittent fasting, right? All right, great. So with ulcer, okay, I've addressed the issue of ulcer. No, it's not. This work for me. I take breakfast as from 11 a.m. most days. Yes, 11 a.m. But the most important thing is when to stop, right? So if you take your breakfast 11 a.m., you should stop eating say around 7 p.m. right? 7 p.m. And after 7 p.m., nothing enters your mouth except water, green tea, and coffee. Not difficult. What about person with chronic ulcer? Chronic ulcer, or whatever you want to call it, can be treated. Ulcer is completely treatable, right? It's completely treatable. It's not among the drugs and diseases without treatment. No. Can a breastfeeding mother who is getting comfortable with weight can a breastfeeding mother who is getting uncomfortable with her weight start? Will it affect? No. It is not advisable for, number one, it's not advisable for women that are breastfeeding, women that are nursing. It's not advisable for pregnant women, right? And it's also not advisable for people trying to conceive. Now, this is because it affects the hormone, and that's a good thing. It tells you that this is strong enough. If you are trying to conceive, we usually don't advise it. If you have menstrual problems, we usually also don't advise it. Make sure you talk to your doctor, right? Because these things, this simple thing, it's not just fasting and just adjusting my meals, man. It actually affects your body hormones, right? So If you are breastfeeding, if you are trying to conceive, if you have serious menstrual problems, right? And then if you are pregnant, avoid intermittent fasting. When you are done breastfeeding, go ahead. Or when you start, how do I put it now? When you start adding food, when you are no longer doing exclusive, you can start that. Every spirit of overweight must go down. Yes, amen, amen, amen. Doctor, what then will cure heartburn? Because it doesn't, I don't take breakfasts. Okay, let me just quickly um turn off stop sharing and then leave this place. Let me do this quickly so that I can be sharing some of these things. um so this one says every spirit of overweight must go. It must go. Doctor, what then will cure heartburn? Because if I don't take breakfast after it now wahala. Well, if you're having heartburn, we have drugs for heartburn, right? We have drugs for heartburn, and so get it treated. Just like ulcer, it can be treated. These are completely treatable conditions. And so during your eating period, you can take your drugs, you can take your gestid, you can take all those things you need to take, right? And then you do your normal fast. So this is not an excuse, right? So this one says 8 to 11 a.m., 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. That's good. Um, please, what's the cause of tightness on the chest? I don't know. This is not related to this topic. Please, I don't know, but tightness of the chest is a bad sign. Anything involving the chest and tightness of the chest, you shouldn't be online. You should be offline, talking to your doctor and getting examined to get the diagnosis and treatment. Tightness of the chest, anything with breathing, because people with asthma, people with heart disease, heart problem, right? They usually have that tightness of the chest. So please, this is not an online stuff. It is something you need to see a doctor physically. Cut heaviness discomfort. Yes. Vicky, please try and see a doctor physically for that. Okay. I sometimes feel hungry, but when I eat, I feel like the food is stored on my chest. Could it be fat? No, that's not how fat works. A lot of these things are psychological, right? Even though there are some conditions where your food can, you can actually store somewhere in your throat. For most people, it's psychological. So go to a big hospital near you and ask to see the consultant physician, right? Go and see the doctor there for proper diagnosis. Never heard ulcer is treatable. Oh, ulcer is completely treatable. It's not among the non-treatable diseases, right? So even after treating, it came back. Then you have to take drugs again, right? Because it is treated. I'm trying to conceive and I want to lose belly fat. What do I do? Now, well, it is, you have to talk with your doctor again. If you talk to the gynecologist you are working with, tell him about the little thing you want to do about intermittent fasting, if it will affect you in your own conditions, because there are some situations, what is stopping you from taking in might not be hormonal, right? It might be something else. And in fact, intermittent fasting will help you to take in quickly. And that's the situation where it helps people to take in quickly, right? So do well to talk with your doctor to see that. IUCD subjected me to DVT. How did that happen? How did that happen? Right? Okay, how can I use intermittent fasting to heal insulin resistance? It's beautiful. This is where one of the powers of intermittent fasting. Just start intermittent fasting and go ahead and measure some of those hormones. You'll see how dramatic the whole thing would be. So it helps some of those hormonal imbalances. And I think I'm done with the question. So let me move on to screen sharing. Let me move on to sharing my screen. So if you have further questions, you can drop in the comment section, and then we are rounding up now. So I'm giving an opportunity here for people who need further help, right? So I have given you everything you need to achieve your weight loss goals. This what we will be discussing henceforth is completely optional. I'm only giving you opportunity to work with me for faster results, for easier results, meaning that if you go out of this live chat now, you will be able to achieve your results yourself without needing my help. So it is completely optional, but I feel that it's my responsibility to help some of you people to achieve your goals faster and easier. And if you are one of those who need further help, it's with great pleasure I want to introduce you to the Supreme Fat Loss System. And this Supreme Fat Loss System is a system developed by one of the top weight loss coaches in Nigeria, and it's a new and pleasurable eating system for a long-lasting weight loss, and it makes everything easier, safer, and faster, right? And this system will give you, in this system, you have a guide that will guide you on how to achieve this whole thing faster, easier, and safer. And apart from that, it gives you a 3-week Nigerian rapid fat loss meal plan, meaning that if you need to know what to eat as at when, if you combine that and then adjust it with your intermittent fasting plan, you will achieve your result easier, faster, and safer, right? So we are making things faster for us, right? And apart from that, it gives you smart shopping lists. So this Supreme Fast Loss system will give you shopping lists so that when you're going to buy, you know those healthy things you can pick and use. Apart from that, if you subscribe to this if you subscribe to this Supreme Fat Loss system, you will be added to a support group, right? It's not run by me, but it's run by my friend, and he's one of the top weight loss coaches in Nigeria. So a group where you can ask questions and then get feedback. And so, because the truth is that most of us, we need accountability. Most of us, we need like support, coaching, right? You cannot, you know what to do. We all know, some of us know everything we discussed today, but what you need is accountability and support. And so that's why I want to link you closely to someone that who has been doing it for over a very long period of time, understands the whole system to help you. Apart from that, you have weight maintenance secret, because it's not about losing weight, it's about maintaining it so that you have a new body, completely new body. So you will be giving weight maintenance secret. Apart from that, you have some healthy weight loss stories to ginger you, success stories, because one thing that works is a lot is what we call social proof. If you know something works for people and you hear their stories and you hear how they did it, you will be encouraged. So most people have problem with isolation. They just know what to do and then they just go on their own. They struggle, they're alone, they don't have people listening. So you need a community, you need accountability, you need support, you need coaching. And that is what I want to offer you. Meaning that if you go off the line, off this call now, you'll be able to achieve your goal. But if you want it easier, faster, and safer, this is what will help you. And then there will be some secret bonuses here and there. Now, this system can be, you can charge, what can you charge for your health? Do you know how much you spend, trying to conceive, trying to deal with diabetes, trying to deal with hypertension? You are on drug on this, you are on drug, you are buying this slimming. I know people who buy slimming tea for 40,000 naira, it doesn't work. Some people buy a waist trainer for 25,000 naira. People do a lot of bizarre in wasting money. But we want to help you now. I've given you a system of intermittent fasting. I want to put you in a community, accountability group, support group, and coaching, mentorship, and life. So what's the problem? And it's just 12,500 naira. 12,000 only. So if you like yourself, invest on yourself, right? Invest in yourself. So if you go to the link with drmalik.org/SFS, with drmalik.org/SFS, you can achieve, you can sign up for this and everything will move on from there, right? So you are getting a Supreme Fat Loss System guide. You are getting 3 weeks Nigerian rapid fat loss meal plan, smart shopping list, secret invite only support group, weight maintenance secret guide, helpful weight loss Nigerian success stories, 2 extra exclusive secret bonus. Just hold on because my own bonus is coming, right? So all this for 12,500 naira only when you go to withdrmalik.org/SFS, Supreme Fat Loss System. Again, you don't need this thing, right? You don't need it. I'm not like other person that tell you that if you don't buy this thing, you will not achieve your weight loss goals. Nah, lie. You can achieve it without this system, right? All have taught you about intermittent fasting, choosing, dividing your 24 hours into 2 and choosing 8 hours for eating, 8 to 10 hours for eating, and then 14 hours for fasting. You will achieve your goals. But we say some persons live in community, some persons perform better, achieve their goals better in community and accountability and coaching and support. That is why I felt it's my responsibility to let you know about this, right? So now, if in the next 72 hours you sign up using withdrmalik.org/SFS, please send me a WhatsApp message immediately. Within 72 hours, so after 72 hours, if you sign up, you're on your own, because I have my own special bonus for you. You see, all that we have discussed today is just small. I will give you my own weight loss intermittent fasting course. You can see the course. 297 students have enrolled in this course, and it has 4.3 star ratings, right? And this course is on intermittent fasting, lose weight fast, safely and naturally, how to lose weight and burn belly fat fast and permanently without dieting or exercise, and live healthier and longer. When you sign up for the Supreme Fat Loss System using the link with drmalik.org/SFS, please go to withdrmalik.org/WhatsApp and send me a message, or just look for me anywhere on Telegram, on a messenger, on WhatsApp, anywhere you can look for me. Just look for me, right? If you sign up within 72 hours, come. I will give you this course so that you will sit down and digest this intermittent fasting very well. Because in this place, you will learn everything. You get all those medical and scientific things I rushed. You get it. You unlock the science. You get some common myths and complaints people have about intermittent fasting. I will deal with them. You see the criteria to know if this intermittent fasting is for you or not. You discover other methods, and I will give you long list of all the proven health benefits of intermittent fasting, and you see the criteria to know if it's for you or not, and much more. All this you will get for free. All this, I'll give you. This course is actually paid, though. It's a paid course. All these 297 people, they actually paid for it, but I'm giving it for free to encourage you to say, Kai, well done, you are serious about your life and your health. When you sign up for the Supreme Fat Loss System within 72 hours by going to the link with drmalik.org/SFS. When you do that, send me a message and I'll grant you login. And this login is for life. You have access and go through it by yourself. So this is what you will get, right? When you sign up for the Supreme Fat Loss System with 12,500 naira, by going to the link with drmalik.org/SFS, you get the Supreme Fat Loss System. You get Nigerian meal plan. You can adapt this thing. When you take the meal plan, considering your intermittent fasting plan, you just join them together and craft something, and then you have group to join for accountability. You have coaching support. You have guide that will help you, and every other thing with all the bonuses. And most importantly, you get my premium course for people who are the fast action takers. Within 72 hours, you get these for free. If you have any questions, let me know. If you don't, I will log out, and then I'll wait for you on the other side for those who sign up using withdrmalik.org/SFS and send me a message on WhatsApp, on Telegram, anywhere. Tell me you have signed up, show me proof, and I'll grant you login. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, we'll just call it good night. Thanks so much. Today's live stream came in the right time. Today is day 6 of this. Great. Thanks, docs. Thank you, docs. You're welcome. Thank you so much, doc. You're welcome. And so I will stop sharing, and then I'm back here. Great. So if there are no questions, we have spent exactly 1 hour, and this is a time well spent. I will put the link in the Telegram channel for people who want to watch the replay, and so you can watch it and gain benefits. And those who are taking the Supreme Fat Loss System, do so immediately. I can see some of you are taking action already. Don't worry, I will reply all of you. I'll reply all of you, right? All right, great. So no more questions, and good night and sleep well.